It's so amazing. It's so amazing.
this clip, no truth to me and you, what the game would do. Turn love into hate, into pistol play. When we were broke, having loyalty was never in question. But when the money came in, we no longer be friends. Damn, to think I even clown my lady. When she was saying you was shady, I was calling her crazy. You started filling out the packs, went behind my back. Pillow talking to the rats like he wouldn't get back. If my love wasn't real, I'd have killed you, nigga. And on my word, when nobody would have found you, nigga. I'm still trying to figure where we went wrong. All them years going strong. What's the business on? When your daddy left, mama didn't love you enough. When I took you in, what? I didn't give you enough. Or the pressure getting to your head, women in power, snorting that powder, strip the soldier, braided you as a cow. Now forever let the block see you just as you are. Another broken down snitch getting bombed. Look at Trey now.
Time to show one day. Are people really what they say? You'll be surprised to know smiling in your face. To take your heart away. Time to show one day. Are people really what they say? You'll be surprised to know who's smiling in your face.
I never wanted to listen to my ambition. I was destined to hustle. Seeing you struggle as a mother justified my purpose. From the promises my daddy made, lusted and crave. It's the reason why I'm here today. God is great. I went to prison and it broke your heart, leaving you scarred behind bars, reminiscing as I sat in the dark. I remember when you found drugs under my bed and put the skillet to my head, screaming I'll be dead. I used to steal from your purse, such a hardly jerk, and sneak my friends in the house while you slave at work. Burning with gangs, kept the cops coming over the house, and you never once thought of even throwing me out. I asked why do you love and put up with me? Her response, if my love died, won't be me. You don't hurt enough to understand the things you do. When you died, I was ruined, left in nothing but ruins. I promised to be the man mama seen in me, and I hope she looking from happy, smiling down on me. Dear Lord, let my mama know I'm proud of her, and I apologize for everything I did to her.
Time to show one day. Are people really what they say? You'll be surprised to know smiling in your face. To take your heart away. Time to show one day. Are people really what they say? You'll be surprised to know who's smiling in your face.
A message to the man who killed my brother Eddie, now his son is buried, and a daughter grieved never to embrace her daddy. Did you even stay to look in his eyes before he died? As the tear fell, asking you why. What harm could he have done? Been retarded for life, could read or write, let alone stand ground and fight. You could've just beat him up, put him down to sudden, rather than shoot him down like an animal hunted. Gun possess power in the hands of cowards. They kill him no young, reputation bought him in crumbs. Material thing can always be replaced, but wait, you can never replace the life that was taken away. I hope you see it faith forever every day that you sleep, and to hunt you to insanity, to never have peace, so you can look into the mirror without tearing it out. Something to think about, and you ain't safe in your own house. Carry the curse that come with death, when I meet at your steps. Bury everything you love as a token of us. In my last decree, from this epitome I spit in your face. You are disgrace and a cancer to grace.
Time to show one day. Are people really what they say? You'll be surprised to know smiling in your face. To take your heart away. Time to show one day. Are people really what they say? You'll be surprised to know who's smiling in your face. This is why.
Off track now. I guess it's time now to fake facts in my mind. Another L on my back. In the street.
I'm thankful what I'm getting.
Everything I got, man.
Take a look at what the world made.
Look at what you made, man.
I'm just so amazing.
I'm amazing.
Money got these women going crazy.
You don't think they not? What you think I'm worth? I'm killing this game, dog. Guys, stop it. Before you make me come back and pocket. Power and profit. Foreign women, Bentleys, and watch us and stop us. Only death can silence and drop us. We good with the choppers. Go be closer than them binoculars. If I like a chick, then I get her. Rather she alone and got her man with her. Roll up beating something gorilla. Money trail on the nut with that swiller. Y'all get the picture. FOE on deck. Flag when I hit your set. Roll with a Teflon vest in my arm. I'm stretching. I ain't been tired of them yet. And I dress wet. Shopping in barbed wire. Gun smoke. Living that live wire. Set the game on fire. And I won't be tired. Defan gonna separate the real from lies. These guys, undercover bad guys. That don't take nothing serious till the shell flies. As long as I live and continue to give. If I'm not who you feel, then you can't be real. The proof is here. Clear. No debate. I'm the great. Past, present, future state. Getting a snake and froze on my face. And anybody coming out trying to sound like Drake. Cause that's how they make them now, dog. Everything I got, man.
Take a look at what the world made.
Look at what you made, man.
I'm just so amazing.
I'm amazing.
Money got these women going crazy.
You don't think they not? What you think I'm worth? I'm killing this game, dog. Guys, pull up in that night ride, club scene, vampire, swag game, so fly, bank account, multi, street stripes, real life, no counterfeit. When that drama hit, when that llama bit to my wrist kick, and I squeeze sun to my finger slip. Then can't forget where the love in it. When the ones you with try to get you clipped, and the chick you with be the first to blow. With that money low, you be the last to know. This hood life won't change, need a fast life. In this game, try to rob me, no David Blaine. I sing you off into the air, man. My diamond glitz so marvelous. Another 100K in my necklace. My sex life restless. I lock the block down, Tetris.
I'm thankful what I'm getting.
Everything I got, man.
Take a look at what the world made.
Look at what you made, man.
I'm just so amazing.
I'm amazing.
Money got these women going crazy.
You don't think they not? What you think I'm worth? I'm killing this game, dog. Guys, war games on that block. No time out on that clock. When them boys come, that's red rum. No proof of life for that ransom. When you see my face, I don't talk much. Get jumped in, no double dutch. That Mac bust, no orgasm. And it hurt worse than a back spasm. Foreign chicks in my whip. Black holly all in my lips. Like Superman, I'm a man of steel. That kryptonite takes so for real. Get bent and drilled for that dirt. Work for that work jerk. No Percocet. That's true. That's Luke. That's no Grey Goose. Papu, Bamu, tattoo. My crew get all off when I call. Strip down in your drawers. I suggest you get on your grind before I limit your time. Let line no shine. This time's mine.
I'm thankful what I'm getting.
Everything I got, man.
Take a look at what the world made.
Look at what you made, man.
I'm just so amazing.
I'm amazing.
Money got these women going crazy.
You don't think they not? What you think I'm worth? I'm killing this game, dog. Guys,
Lieutenant and dropped out of school. Lieutenant and found her a man, but he really like 30 years old. And her daddy was up in the pen. Not to mention her mama at home, smoking crack so she can't pay the bills. Every night she's just crying to bed, begging God like come take the wheel. Old dude hit her up with a drill. Late night going off 2 pills. He's spending 5% windshield. No cop on site, he chill. Told tennis switch seats, take the wheel. Grab a Glock and pull to where he live. Ski mask, or finna get real. Drug deal gone wrong, he killed. Plug love, ayy, ain't no love, don't you tell. You said you a thug. It ain't all fun and games when you the plug. You get no love. Jack boys coming, you better watch, never know who said never know who said Plug love, ain't no love, don't you tell. You said you a thug. It ain't all fun and games when you the plug. It's no love. Jack boys coming, you better watch, never know who said I'm not seeing traffic. Heart racing, she don't know how it happened. She tryna get low, but it's too late. Bullets got the blasting. She hit the corner, almost crashed. Now she in the alley. But the car got a gas leak. But she stayed on the main street. They put her aside, they finna squeeze. She pleading out, yelling like please. They don't know, she's 17, but it's too late. Brody off beam. One shot to the head, her brains on the seat. A tear dropped down, she was in too deep. Ain't no love up in the streets. The plug on the case tryna lead the police. Hit her mama at home OC. She don't even know her daughter deceased. Hood life so the cycle repeat. The murder rate definitely gonna increase. Paranoid that you can't even sleep. Life gone way before you can blink. Nowadays you can't walk down the street without clutching the heat. Man, plug love, ain't no love, don't you tell. You said you a thug. It ain't all fun and games when you the plug. You get no love. Jack boys coming, you better watch, never know who said never know who said Plug love, ain't no love, don't you tell. You said you a thug. It ain't all fun and games when you the plug. It's no love. Jack boys coming, you better watch, never know who said
One of the biggest mistakes women make is believing that they can change a nigga. You know? You find yourself wasting the best years of your life wrestling with these niggas over and over again, only to find that they don't want to change. He ain't helping out on their end. Dump that, drop that nigga. When you gon' just throw his ass out, dump that, drop that nigga. All he wanna do is just smoke, complain about life being broke, leaving you to do all the most. Dump that, drop that nigga. He cheat on you. He put his hands on you. Ain't no peace of mind when you're dealing with that kind of. Keep around, it gets worse. Dump that, drop that nigga. Have he ever stood around you? Make you wanna lose your mind. And he keep going to jail, leaving you alone by yourself. You ain't even getting no damn help. Dump that, drop that nigga. All the ladies right now, put your middle fingers up in the air like this. Pump it. Dump that, drop that nigga. For everything he ever stole and took it from you. Come on. Dump that, drop that nigga. For every time he ever cheated on you. Come on, say it with me. Dump that, drop that nigga. And every time he ever put his hands on you. Come on. Said,
dump that, drop that, nigga.
I bet he even drive your car.
Dump that, drop that, nigga.
I know you be giving them cash too.
Dump that, drop that, nigga.
Promising you things he will not do. He cuss you out and tell the how to. Everybody knowing he use you.
Dump that, drop that, nigga.
I bet he don't make love like me, or appreciate you like I do. Lady, you deserve much more. When you gonna know your worth? I got what you're looking for. When you gonna free yourself and find someone to love again, baby?
Dump that, drop that, nigga.
All the ladies right now, put your middle fingers up in the air like this. Pump it.
Dump that,
Pump,
drop that,
pump.
nigga.
For everything he ever stole and took him from you. Come on.
Dump that, drop that, nigga.
For every time he ever cheated on you. Come on. Say it with me.
Dump that, drop that, nigga.
Things will get better for you, baby, so that you wanna
Dump
be
that, drop
safe.
that, nigga.
I just wanna be the man he never was to you, make you so
Dump that, drop
happy.
that, nigga.
Things will get better for you, baby, so that you wanna be
Dump
safe.
that, drop that, nigga.
I just wanna be the man he never was to you, make you so
Dump that, drop
happy.
that, nigga.
Things will get better for you, baby, so that you wanna
Dump
be
that,
safe.
drop that, nigga.
I just wanna be the man he never was to you, make you
Dump
so
that, drop
happy.
that, nigga.
Things will get better for you, baby, so that you wanna
Dump
be
that,
safe.
drop that, nigga.
I just wanna be the man he never was to you, make you so
Dump that, drop
happy.
that, nigga.
Things will get better for you, baby, so that you wanna
Dump
be
that,
safe.
drop that, nigga.
I just wanna be the man he never was to you, make you so
Dump that, drop
happy.
that, nigga.
Things will get better for you, baby, so that you wanna be
Dump that,
safe.
drop that, nigga.
I just wanna be the man he never was to you, make you so
Dump that, drop
happy.
that, nigga. I don't wanna stand in your shadow. I'm waving my flag in this battle. So take me as a prisoner to what we once had. I found out what won't kill me will make me stronger. And chasing you around I will do no longer. Gotta find myself cause I lost sense and I forgot who I am. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Hello world, I know it's been too long since I've been gone. Here I am. I'm brand new. Didn't ever think I would get over you. I'm brand new. And I got you to thank for being brand new. My attitude, the way I view the world is brand new. My style hair when I don't care about what you do. So when I dress my body shadow like that, I don't answer you know because it's so brand new. I cleaned out my closet. Your skeletons inside. I feel so alive. I just wanna breathe, yeah. Didn't think I would ever see the day when we would be apart. Thought I would be breaking down, but it's actually not so hard. I'm even going out with the girls tonight. The club ain't gon' dance all night. Got my phone off in case you wanna come by or call my line. I don't even want you on my mind or messing with my night. Gotta find myself cause I lost sense and I forgot who
know it's been too long since I've been gone. Here I am. I'm brand new. Didn't ever think I would get over you. I'm brand new. And I got you to thank for being brand new. I don't wanna add to the way I feel and I don't wanna stop here when I don't care about what you do. To live in your shadow, I don't answer to your name because it's so brand new high.
Hey, this I know. This I know. Ooh, I may not know how long it took for you to finish with your hair. I may not know the latest person fashions or designer wear. May not know what a Spanx is, the extensions of your lashes, or the inches of your high heels. But when it comes to sex, I know I'm the best. Put me to the test, I'ma get you wet. Where did you ever been when I examine your body? This I know. May not know about the nigga who was last year. All I know is that it's me right now. Don't feel ready to give you this loving, all over you kissing and hugging. Right now, saddle up for the love, get to riding. I'ma put this thug passion inside you. Lay you down on the bed, spread your leg, get to working that tongue to that body on fever. I ain't gotta know everything about you. All I need to know is how to make love to you. I might not know it, I might not know it, I might not know about everything. I might not know. All I know is about you, your pleasure in your body. I may not know my way around the kitchen, I do other things. Like take you shopping, buy you flowers, and I give you compliments. I may not know what you're thinking, irritation when you trapping, but I think I keep you happy. This I know. I don't even know your size, I don't even know you lie. Bet that I can make you hot, bet that I can hit your spot. Saddle up for the love, get the riding. I'ma put the thug passion inside you. Lay you down on the bed, spread your legs, get to working that tongue to that body on fever. I ain't gotta know everything about you. All I need to know is how to make love to you. I might not know it, I might not know about it. See, I might not know. All I know about is the pleasure in your body. I might not know it. I might not know it. I might not know about it. I might not certain women. All I know is, all I know about is pleasing pleasure in your body.
What it do, man? It's your boy Battle Truth coming with you, terrible. Coming to you live and direct from the Battle Truth headquarters. Battle Truth headquarters. What's going on, man? Oh man, I had to fix me something to eat, man. While this was going on, man. Shoot, I just did the whole event thing. Then surfing them, get into a fight. Had to do another 2 hours of that. Then Unbias, scary, but finally decided to show his face out the court, and people thinking I was lying. Y'all people crazy, man. Listen, the man took a plea. He got to go back to sentencing, man. Like, look, the courts have an option depending on what's being argued. He was already on bond for $100,000. Something flew in my eye. He was already on bond for $100,000, fighting his case. So when he decided to take the plea deal, they have a choice. They either will give him his sentencing date or they'll take him in. So apparently they decide to let him stay out to his sentencing date since he ain't been getting into trouble. But let me show y'all something. Y'all act like y'all can't look up this man stuff y'all self, man. Like, okay, let me just show you something, man. All this stuff is out here for y'all to see, man. All you gotta do is type up his name. You'll see all this stuff. Man, like, come on, what's wrong with brothers, man? All you gotta do is look this stuff up. Like, for instance, so this brother said this, man, Battle Truth, I rock with you. Damn, everything you said don't appear to be the truth. Chris is out and seems not to have a care in the world. If a man is innocent, he deserves to be out and free. I agree. If a man is innocent, he definitely deserves to be out and free. But this is not the case, brother. This is not the case. Now, he do have a care in the world. Why do you think, okay, the man went to court on the 24th, right? Why he ain't say nothing at the court if he had so much good and happy news? Now, this is before he already told the battle rap community he never going back to court again. They had no evidence against him. They dropped all his charges. So here's my question. Well, how you back in court then if that's the case? And if you had such a victory and all your stuff was dropped and all that, why you ain't celebrating? Why you ain't happy about it? Why you not talking? Because he can't. Because he know that we know about all this stuff. So he know that. But let me show you something though. Yeah, see, it's apparently when I be listening, watching people talk, a lot of people, they seem to like not have no understanding of the judicial system. Like when you take a plea, then there's a sentencing, right? So depending on what the courts argue and decide, right? Usually when you found guilty or take a plea, like I said, they'll usually schedule your sentencing date. Okay, you took the plea, sentences will be held on this date. Just like when I showed you the document papers, where the lady clearly said in the notice she sent out to his lawyers. By the way, he actually wrote a complaint about me on that on YouTube. He sent the complaint out against me on YouTube on that, but YouTube override it and rejected it. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, hold on. I don't even want to show this stuff, man. Don't even worry about it. But YouTube overrode it. YouTube rejected it because I argued it. Like, this public information. What y'all don't know is this guy is a, you know, so I argued it and I won it. I won it. But he actually did file the complaint to YouTube against me. So just for argument's sake, I'm not going to show the documentation, but y'all saw the documentation, right? In it, it clearly said you got 3 days before court to decide whether or not you're going to take the plea or get ready for trial between the 4th and 18th. Hold on. Matter of fact, let me just show that. Let me show that. Let me see. Okay, let me show that. Okay, let me see. Okay. Okay, yeah. All right, so check this paperwork out right here. Let me show y'all something. Click, pop. Okay, so right here on this paperwork, this is it. This is his paperwork that they sent, right? This is the paperwork that they sent on him. Check out this paperwork. So in this paperwork, notice what it talks about. This was sent to him, right? This is to advise you that the above style case have been scheduled for pretrial discussion and plea. Pretrial and plea before the Honorable Stacey K. Hydrick. So he have a female judge, right? He have a female judge, right? Then it says, because of COVID-19, this hearing will be conducted virtually via Zoom and not in person at the courthouse. Now, remember, now, for some of y'all in here who've been following his lies, do y'all remember when the man said, yeah, okay, for those who've been following, remember he first told everybody he not going to court no more. We played all that. I'm not going to court no more. I'm not going to court. I'm not going to court. It's over. They didn't have no evidence. All my DNA kits came back negative. The judge and DA was like, it's so much going on. We don't have no evidence, right? But anybody who's been following this know that this is a lie, right? But remember what he said. He was saying when Twerk came out and exposed him. Remember Twerk came out and exposed him. He got mad at Twerk. Then he like, there you and Anwar go. Now y'all want to talk about my case because I'm getting on your case because you choked. I keep telling y'all I'm not going back to court no more. I'm not. And you know what? He laughing. But what he didn't know while he was saying that, the documentation of his court date actually came out the next day. Ain't that funny how God worked? It came out the next day, right? So in the process of it coming out the next day, he got bust out. So then he tried to go live and say, oh, yeah, you know, I got caught, but we just going to get the cases dropped. So we going back in since COVID. Now since the courts is open back up, now we going in just to get the cases dropped. See what I'm saying? Now, when you read this paperwork, look what it clearly says. So in the next paragraph, it say, if you would like to enter a plea, your attorney should contact Assistant District Attorney Lauren Caldwell or Assistant District Attorney Adam Taylor, right? Within 72 hours of the above hearing date, which was March 24th. So he had 3 days before going to court to enter in his guilty plea. Look what the court sent to him. Look what it say. So within 72 hours of the above date, this is the only thing this court date would determine. Are you taking the plea or are you going to trial? That's it. That's what this court date was based upon. Taking a plea or going to trial. That's it. So within 72 hours above hearing date for them to process the paperwork. See that? So if he was going to put in a plea, he had to do it 3 days ahead of time so that the courts could process the paperwork and schedule a sentencing date. Watch this. More detailed instructions will then be provided to your attorney regarding a virtual plea process. Look at that. That said virtual plea. Now remember, the letter that I'm reading, y'all, is the letter that they sent him. So when he went live and said, yeah, y'all, maybe I should just go down in front of the courthouse. Remember he said that? Go down in front of the courthouse on my court date, go live, let y'all see me in front of the courthouse smiling in my new car, new truck, whatever one he said he had. Remember he went live and said that? But think about this. This how lame, this how you know he guilty and didn't want nobody to know. Remember, he had already got this letter. So he knew that the court appearance wasn't going to be in person. It was going to be done over Zoom. But he told the battle rap community and us that he was going to go there live in front of the courtroom and go live parked outside with his new car. But he had already had this letter knowing that it was going to be over the internet. So what he did was deceived us. Because remember, we the paperwork we getting is always after. It's always after. So we thinking he going to public court in person, when in reality, he doing it over on the computer on Zoom. He noticed, but he sell it to the community so we couldn't look into it to actually hear the proceeding that was actually being broadcast live. We could have saw it on YouTube live, y'all. He knew that. When we looked it up and had our people looked it up, they said what they did was they went live on YouTube, and after the proceeding was over, they ended it and took it off. But we got our people on top of it, and they're going to. It happened Friday, so because the court date was Friday, what happened was the courts was closed after the proceeding, so we wasn't able to get directed to how to watch the video. But tomorrow, which is Monday, the court's back open, so our people is on top of it, and by this time, sometime this week, we should have the video footage. We should have the video footage to actually see him over the air in court and hear everything that went on. So our people on top of that right now. Okay. With that being said, so he was to issue the plea and within 72 hours. Look what it say in the next paragraph. Cases that are not disposed of on this date will be continued on the following trial calendar in the same courtroom. You will be expected to be prepared for trial. See that? This day on the 24th was only for two things. You take the plea or you go into trial. If you don't take the plea, you go into trial, right? Because he at the end of his thing. What he trying to do is keep filing motions to stall time, right? Because he know he guilty, he know he taking the plea, and in taking the plea, he trying to file for motions on other things. Remember, he got 6 felony cases, 6. Okay, now I don't really know how many of them he pleaded guilty to, because that ain't determined yet. And again, the paperwork we getting is always after. So I don't know how many of the 6 he actually pleaded guilty to, but he definitely pled guilty to some of them. Right now, watch this. So this day of March 24th was only to determine whether he was going to take the plea or get ready for trial, right? Now, that paragraph just said whatever cases were not disposed of during the time of not taking the plea, it would be transferred over to the trial date calendar and to get ready for trial. That's it. We at the end of the road. We at the end of the road. You take the plea or you go to trial. So if you don't take the plea, you go on to trial. So look what it says. Trial week begins 9 a.m. April 4th through April 18th. That's trial week. That's when it begins, right? So it says you must appear at the call of the calendar at 8:45 a.m. Thursday, March 24th. That was his day. So it was on Thursday with an attorney, even if you are pleading not guilty and desire a jury trial, right? So that's all this was about. Now, watch this. Okay, watch this. Okay, Gifted Smith said, if sentencing having taken place, the case isn't disposed of, Battle Truth. Facts, that's true. Your previous video, you claimed it was disposed of. Facts, I did say that. That's why I showed the trial calendar. But remember what I said, it's 6 cases, right? Hold on, let me show you something. Let me just show you something. I just put stop. Okay, hold on. Hold on, let's go here. Wait, cancel. Let me show y'all something. Okay, hold on. Okay, now, watch this. So, there are 6 cases, right? There are 6 cases, right? You go to 6 cases, right? So it's 6 cases. So here's the 6 cases he got, right? All these cases you can look up. These cases ain't gone nowhere. Nowhere at all. So when he said his cases was dropped, they had no evidence on him. Just look at this. Pay attention to this. So there are 6 cases. He got 6 felony cases. He got 1 count of rape against Kiera. He got aggravated sodomy. He got aggravated sodomy against Shannon. He got kidnapping against Kiera. He got rape on Shannon. He got aggravated assault on Kiera. And he got robbery on Kiera. Okay? So 2 of these charges against Shannon, and the other 4 charges is against Kiera with a star witness named Karen Hill, who was also raped by him, right? So he got these 6 charges, right? These are his charges, right? So these are the charges he charging with that he said they have no evidence on. Even though we clearly see that they found his DNA. Remember at first he said they didn't have his DNA. He came back negative. Now he admitting that they do got his DNA now. I'm going to show you all that now. Remember, he said they ain't got no evidence on him. He said his DNA kits came back negative. Now he got his own words admitting that they do got his DNA. Right? So, okay, so watch this though. So these are his charges. Now remember, let's look at these charges. He said they have no evidence against him. So they charged him with rape. And they got both DNA, his DNA in both these women. They charged him with robbery. Because remember, he said he don't know the woman. So they charged him with robbery. He said he didn't know the woman. But when they raided his house, guess what they found? They found the victim's property in his house. Robbery. Possession is 9/10 of the law. You were found with the rape victim's property in your house who you claim to not know. So they found their property in your house in the attic that you was using as souvenirs. You know when people be raping them women because he a serial rapist. So you know when he be raping them women, he keep a souvenir of his victims. So they charged him with robbery also, right? Then they charged him with kidnap. Because remember, these women jumped out of the cars, being held against their will. 2 of these women jumped out of the car. Cameron jumped out of the car and Kiera jumped out of the car while it was moving. That's why he charged with aggravated assault, because his car was used as a weapon by them jumping out in the middle of traffic to get away from him, and kidnapping because they were being held against their will. Okay? So he's saying it ain't no evidence on him, but witnesses on both accounts of these women on 2 different times saw a woman either getting kicked from the car or jumping out of the car. They didn't know the difference. All they saw was a body flying out of the truck and moving traffic. And they all came on both different accounts to the rescue of these women they seen being lodged from this SUV 18 assault vehicle. Right? Now, watch this. Hold on, let me show y'all something else. Hold on, let me show you something else. Now, this is him. This is him admitting now that his DNA is found on the women. Look what he said. He said, you guys read paperwork and think it tells a story. The paperwork and DNA means nothing in this case, bro. See that? Now you see how he changed his story? Remember, he said they didn't have his DNA. Now he's saying the DNA they got on him in the paperwork we've been revealing don't have nothing, don't mean nothing in this case. Question: how don't DNA mean anything in a rape case? That don't even sound right, do it, y'all? That don't even make no sense, do it? How do DNA don't mean nothing in a rape case? And this him in his own words. This him in his own words, right? So, watch this. We just clearing up some things before we get into updated. We clear some things till we get into updated paperwork, right? Watch this. So that's him in his own words on that, right? So watch this. So let me make sure I got this right. Okay. This adds up today. This is as of today. Look at this. This is as of today. Right? Notice his upcoming court date next month. 4/24. Wait, hold on. That's not it. These the charges, right? This is updated, right? This case right here is still, these are the cases, right? So right now, this is where his stuff's standing at. Hold on, wait. I opened up the wrong one. Hold on. I opened up the wrong one. Let me go back to it. I opened up the wrong one. Okay. That's what I meant to open up. Okay. I'm sorry. That's what I meant to open up. Listen. So look, this adds up today. Pay attention. Look what that say, right? So remember, his pre-trial was on 3/24/2022, right? After that, look at the other scheduled date. Now notice what the paperwork said. The paperwork said they was to either. Hold on, I'll read something that you guys say. Okay, here we go. I'm sorry. Okay. So if you notice, hold on, wait. I'm just checking my email thing. Okay, so if you notice, right, in this text, let me show you something. Sending it to my thing. Okay, so if you notice, so he had court on the 24th, Thursday. Then notice after that, look at his new court date, 4/26/2022, motions, right? Motions. Remember, it's 6 cases. I don't know all the ones he pleaded guilty to and the ones he's still trying to put motions on. We're going to get the rest of that. But he definitely pled guilty to some of these charges on Thursday. That's enough. That's why he was so ashamed after court. He didn't want to say nothing because he didn't know all the information we had. He don't know if we seen him. He don't know if we had the videos. He don't know what we got. So he trying to see what we say to determine what he say. That's what he doing. He playing cat and mouse. He just trying to determine. He trying to determine what we say to depend on what he say because he don't know what we got. He don't know what we got. And a lot of the paperwork is not coming out to us like that. You know, we fighting for the little paperwork we be getting. He got it all. He got it all though. So he playing defense. He playing defense. But if you notice, all this is showing you that he's been lying through the whole thing. The charges is all there. Nothing is being dropped. He took a plea, but for how many of the 6 cases, I don't know how many he took of the 6 cases, right? But I do know, me and ADEP had a bet. ADEP believe his plea was 10 years. I believe it's 20. I don't think he getting less than 20 years when you, hold on. I don't think he getting less than 20 years when you fighting all this stuff. Like, I don't see how he get less than 20 years with all these charges on him like this, and they all felonies. And they not dropping none of these charges. They not trying to drop none of these charges. These charges been here for the past 3 years. They not going nowhere. I don't see how you don't get 20 years out of charges like this. I just don't see it. As far as like my experience of what I know when dealing with the court systems and how they work, I know when you got 2 rapes on 2 different women, then you got kidnapping, and you got robbery. All these are felonies. I don't see him getting 10 years out of this, especially with a female judge. You got a female judge. I don't see him getting no 10 years out of this. I see him 20 or better. I see 20 or better. You know what I'm saying? I see 20 or better. I'm just keeping it 100. The man is a liar. I'm telling y'all what he doing. This is what he doing, man. He building up his channel because he know he going away. And what he trying to do is build up his channel so that they can make money for him to provide for him while he going away to do this time. That's what he doing. That's what he doing. So he using the battle rap community to get paid to finance his rapery. That's all he doing. That's what it is. That's what it is. And a lot of these people in the community is helping him and supporting him. You know what I'm saying? Through this whole thing. You feel me? So, when you look at it, the truth of the matter is, no matter what he say, you can't get around these facts. How is it that none of these charges is dropped? How is it that, according to you, you ain't never going to court no more, and yet you got another court date where you got to go? So he definitely pled guilty. We're going to find out what the ones he pled guilty for. We're going to find that out. We're going to find all that out this week. Hopefully we'll have all that this week. So he a liar. That's why when he got out of court, he wasn't happy. He wasn't happy when he got out of court on the 24th. Well, he didn't even go. It was on the computer. It was on the computer. That's why he now just showing his face Sunday. Sunday. So from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, now Sunday, he decided to do a 3-minute clip because he ashamed to show his face because he lied to the battle rap community saying he never had to go back to court, and now he can't hide the fact that that was a lie. You just went to court again. And you got to go to court again next month. So he ashamed he ashamed to show his face to the battle rap community because now you got some questions to answer, brother. For those of you who believed him when he said he didn't never had to go back to court. Okay, well now you got some explaining to do. Why you so-called back in court now? You just went 3 days ago. And now you're going next month. So how your case is over, your case is dropped and all this, and you just went to court for trial and a plea deal on Thursday. So which one is it? Did they drop your cases or not? No, they didn't drop his cases. That's why you can type up his name right now, and all them charges, they right there. This is what you see right now. You can type this up right now, and that's what's on him right now. Right now. These charges ain't gone nowhere. Nowhere. He at the end of his rope. I don't know how many of these he already pleaded guilty to, but he definitely pled guilty to some of them. He definitely pled guilty to some of them. And he got motions in, on a couple of them. He got motions in. So they not dropping nothing on him. But let me tell you how the law works, though. The law very crafty on what they do, man. Like, when you dealing with the law, man, and you dealing with court, it's like poker. It's like poker. They always in control. They never expose their full hand. Like, for instance, y'all see these 6 charges right here they got him up under? They actually got more charges than this on him. Trust me when I tell you this. They actually got more charges than this on him. This is what they use to manipulate and damage you financially. They make you fight this with all your resources, only then to throw an extra. when you exhausted your resources. This is what they do. They hit him with 6. They let him exhaust his resources. He breaking himself. Then when it's about to go to trial, they hit him with the plea. You gonna take this 20 years? He may be like, man, 20 years is a long time, man. I'll take my chances in court. Then they may say, okay, take your chances in court. But since you're going to trial, we finna throw in these other 3-4 cases that we didn't charge you with, since you didn't want to take the plea. That's what they do. That's what they did to me. When I got arrested, they gave me the charges that I thought I only had. I fought all the way up to trial. When it was time to go to trial, they came to my lawyer with 16 years. They said, look, I'll offer him this 16. I'm like, man, I don't want to do no 16 years. That's a lot of time. I'll take my chances in trial. Then they said, okay, if you go to trial, we're going to charge you with these other 2-3 cases we got on you that we didn't charge you with. So you either take the 16 or we add these other 3 new charges on you too, and they 3 felony too. So now it goes up to 36. When I read the paperwork and seen what my other charges was, I say, come on with the plea, because I knew I was guilty. I knew I was guilty. What they had me fighting wasn't even worse than what they were trying to charge me with. The dope that they got me on and stuff, they didn't even charge me with the bigger dope I had been selling. That's what they was holding against me to get me to take the plea. And they dropped the pistols. They dropped the pistols and the dope for me to take the 16. So God even gave me favor with that. God even gave me favor with that. So when I saw them other charges, I happily took the 16. And I did 7 off the 16. That's how they work, though. I mean, look, the courthouse play chess. They don't play no games. They don't play no game. They don't throw in their whole hand as soon as you get locked up. They don't throw in their whole hand. They be like, give them these 4. If you take the plea on these 4, then we ain't going to charge him with these 2. If he don't take the plea, hit him with the other 2. Make him sweat. Force his hand. That's how they get down. That's how they get down. Same thing. I guarantee you they got other charges on him. Them probably some of the motions he put in. On them new charges they probably hit him with. We gonna find out the rest of that paperwork. But that's probably what them new charges is. That's probably what that is. He probably got motions in on that. But he out of there. I mean, people can try to delay all they want. You ain't getting around this facts. You ain't getting around this truth, partner. You're done. You're done. No matter how you look at it, you're done. We're going to find out what he took the plea on. This week, we should find out what he took the plea on. Because he definitely took the plea on March 24th. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. That's why he not happy. Y'all notice he ain't happy. I mean, I'm living the best days of my life. Right, because you know you about to go. You better be living it up. You ain't gonna get to see it again. That's why he doing all the traveling. Oh, I'm in San Francisco. Oh, I'm in Vegas. Oh, I'm in, right. Go and see as much as you can see, because you know you out of there. You know you out of there. So at least he's gonna be like, man, before I turn myself in, man, at least I went to Vegas. I went to San Francisco. I went to California. I went to New York. Right. Right. Enjoy the last moments of your days. Enjoy the last moments of your days. So you definitely won't be out this summer. You ain't gonna be out this summer. You will not get to wear them old man short sets you be wearing with the dress socks up to your ankles, with the dress shoes. You're not gonna be wearing your Hawaiian short sets with your Asian straw hat with your dress socks and dress shoes on, messing up the damn beach. You ain't finna do that no more. You ain't finna be ruining people's appetites no more at the damn beach with them with them lame Somerset songs. Shoot. It is what it is though, man. Don't get mad at me. Hell. For standard kidnapping charges. See, that's what I'm saying. For standard kidnapping charges, Georgia Code 6540 imposes a minimum. See that? A minimum of 10 years and a maximum of 20 years in prison when the victim is over the age of 14. See that? See that? That's just for kidnapping. You can basically look at the charges and tell what they're going to offer him. So the minimum is 10 years. That means if he found guilty on kidnapping, they got to give him 10 years. Whether it's 2 in prison and 8 on paper, 5 in prison, 5 on paper, but they got to give him 10 years. They can't go under the minimum, maximum. They can't go under the minimum or over the maximum. See that? That's just for kidnapping. The rape I know the rape is higher than that. So I know his plea was no less than 20 years. He ain't happy. If y'all look, if that man was happy and had any victory in court, when he left out of that court on Thursday, he'd have been jumping for joy. I told y'all, didn't I tell y'all? I told y'all Battle Troop a lie. I told y'all they was lying. I told y'all I'm free. I told y'all I ain't going back to court. I told y'all he ain't saying none of that. He been quiet all the way up to Sunday. That's why we kept doing them blogs, forcing his hand. Where you at? You gone. Show your face. Where he at? Why he ain't saying nothing? Because he's scared. Because he's scared. Because he been found out. Your lies is over. Your lies is over. You said you wasn't ever going back to court. We just got you going back to court, brother. Now you got another court date and you got motions in trying to stall time so you can stay out longer. So that's why he got other motions in there too. Come on now. He know the business. He did that. He did that quick clip of surf for 3 minutes because this what he do because he a rat. He a weasel. He wanted to check the temperature. Would they accept me? They gonna question me? If they go. Just like he did when he first got out with the rapementary. He put out the little clip first, rather than just coming out telling his story. That's another reason how you know he a liar. You don't need the clip and edit and stuff to tell a script. Well, you do if you're doing a script. But if it's true, you ain't got to do all that. You just cut your camera on and talk like, man, would you believe? Man, these people tried to set me up, man. They tried to do this, man. The girl said I did that. So he gonna do a clip, edit, make sure it's neat, watching his mouth, careful with what he's saying, hoping he don't make a mistake. Dog, get out of here. Get out of here. Who you fooling? You ain't fooling us, partner. No. We know what's up. Remy say, realistically, Truth, how much longer can Chris stall the court system before he's sentenced? I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I really don't know. You fighting 6 charges. You fighting 6 counts of rape and robbery and sodomy, kidnapping. Ain't no telling. Like, look, ain't no telling how long he gonna keep trying to do motions.
But I know that the courts are running thin with him. That's why that one letter forced his hand, you know. But I mean, it ain't changing nothing. You notice none of his motions work. They always turn down all his motions. Like, dog, we ain't leaving these 6 charges. These 6 charges got you to the wrong. Why would we have to drop any other robbery when we raided your house and found the victim's property in your house? They didn't loan it to you. They didn't borrow it to you. You said you didn't know them, so how you got their stuff in your house? Why would we let go of the rape? Why would we let go of the 2 rapes? We found your DNA on these women. We found your DNA on these women. So we ain't letting go of the rape. We not letting go of the kidnapping. Both these women, 2 of these women had to jump out of the car to get away from you. They're being forced and held against their will and jumped out of a moving vehicle to get away from you. That's why we're not dropping the aggravated assault neither. So I don't see none of his motions working. None of them. Like, I read one of the motions. He was trying to suppress them from using, and this how come I believe to some degree, they got other charges on him. Because in one of the motions, it talked about they compensated, but they confiscated from him a black bag full of cameras and video stuff. And ain't no telling what's on those. And he filed a motion that bag and the things in it couldn't be used against him. So wasn't no telling what was in that black bag with the camcorders and stuff in it and stuff. But he filed the motion asking that bag couldn't be used against him. You know what I'm saying? So in the process of that, so if he filed the motion asking for the stuff in the black bag to not be used against him, that only could let me know that what was in the black bag could be used against him. Could be used against him. So, yep, he had the motion. Matter of fact, let's read some of these motions. I got some of these motions. Let's look at some of these motions that he put to suppress. Hold on. Let's read some of these motions. Okay. Let's read some of these motions. Okay. Motion to dismiss. What was this one about? Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, this was a motion he put in, right? On this motion, hold on, wait, wrong one. So on this motion right here, he had a motion to suppress so that the fault. Now, I'm gonna show you another reason how you know he's so guilty. Watch this motion right here that he put in. He got his lawyer putting in this motion. Watch this motion right here. This motion really show him guilty, right? Okay, so look at this motion right here he put in. This is a motion, right? Watch this. Okay. Motion to dismiss counts 4, 5, and 6. So he put in a motion to dismiss counts 4, 5, and 6, right? What was counts 4, 5, and 6? Let me see. I need to open up another thing. I want to see something. What was motion counts 4, 5, and 6? Let me see something. I need to see something. I need to open up another. 4, 5, and 6. Let me see what that motion is. Four, 5, and 6. Okay, let's check it out. 4, 5, and 6. Rape aggravates. Okay. Okay. All right. So check it. Okay. So the motion to dismiss okay, so in these motions, right? So he got motions to dismiss count 4, 5, and 6. So let's look at the counts 4, 5, and 6. This motion is 4. Let's break it down. Let's see. Motion 4, 5, and 6. Motions 4, 5, and 6 to dismiss. Okay, so here's 4, 5, and 6. Motion to dismiss. So it's rape, aggravated assault, and robbery. So this is the motions. Okay? So it's rape, aggravated assault, and robbery. That's what this motion is he put in to be dismissed, right? Rape, aggravated assault, and robbery. Watch this. So let's look at the motion of what he's arguing. Let's see what his argument is. Because see, he hoping he can get off on a technicality. That's another thing he hoping he can get off on. See, he know he guilty of what he did. He just hoping if they could find some type of loophole to get him out of, it. So he looking for some loophole to get up out of it, a technicality. That's what he hoping he can get off on. But watch the paperwork. Watch the motion he's arguing. So he's arguing 4, 5, and 6. Let's see what it's talking about. Right? So it says, guns be moved to dismiss count 4 through 6 due to state's failure to preserve exculpatory evidence, right? To support dismissal, Gunsby shows as follows. The state has a constitutional obligation to preserve evidence that can be expected to play a significant role in a suspect's defense. Then he used in the case. Due process is violated when evidence is destroyed that one has constitutional materiality, an exculpatory value that was apparent before the evidence was destroyed, and 2 is of such a nature that the defendant would be unable to obtain comparable evidence by other reasonably available means, right? So I told y'all, he looking for a way out. He looking to see was his rights violated. He not fighting saying he innocent. He looking to see, oh, they violated my rights. He looking for a loophole. Watch this. The failure to preserve evidence violates due process and the evidence in question as material. And the state acted in bad faith in its failure to preserve the exculpatory evidence, right? Exculpatory means supportive of a claim of innocence or tending to clear from alleged fault or guilt, right? So exculpatory means supportive of a claim of innocence or tending to clear from alleged fault or guilt. My mouse froze up. Hold on. Okay, there you go. Evidence is material if it possesses an exculpatory value that was apparent before it was destroyed and is of such nature where the defendant would be unable to obtain comparable evidence by other reasonable, valuable means. The bad faith requirement does not apply where, as here, the exculpatory nature of the evidence was apparent before the destruction, and there is no reasonably available comparable evidence. Only if the two requirements of trombetta are not met does the bad faith of the state become relevant. Counts 4 through 6 of indictment. Accused Gumbey of sexual assault Kiara Simmons in his vehicle. To wit, it was a 2003-4 expedition. Shortly after his arrest, but prior to the first indictment, Gumbey placed the prosecution on notice that this evidence was exculpatory and material to his case. In his motion, Gumbey advised that the 2003-4 expedition contained critical exculpatory evidence. The motion also advised that the destruction of this evidence would require dismissal because the defendant would be unable to obtain any other comparable evidence by any reasonable available method. The 2003-4 expedition was in the custody of statewide record located at 6995 Covington Highway, Lithonia, Georgia. Not only did Gumbey advise the prosecution of the value of this evidence, but he also advised statewide record that this vehicle was of critical evidentiary, I'm sorry. I need some drink. I'm about so dry. All this talk. Hold on. Okay. So Gumbey advised the prosecution of the value of this evidence, but he also advised statewide record that the vehicle was of critical evidentiary value of his defense. On July 16, 2019, undersigned counsel, along with expert Ross Gardner and a member of the GBI, traveled to statewide record with the intent to remove biological samples from Gumbey's vehicle that would contradict material portions of Simeon's statements of law enforcement. So I guess he wanted to they wanted to get their people to examine the car where the rape took place to get samples, if there was any type of samples of the victims in the so-called car in any type of way, or if it was, if it wasn't, right? Despite Gumbey's twice timely notifying all parties that this vehicle maintained invaluable exculpatory evidence, the vehicle was damaged in a manner that caused all exculpatory evidence located in this vehicle to be destroyed. So he arguing that somebody tampered with the car, however they may have did it, cleaned it, or did something, that it erased and wiped out any evidence that could have been used to prove him not guilty. Then it says Gumbey is not required to show the prosecution bad faith because he made the exculpatory nature of this evidence obvious through prior filings and memorandums. But even if this court finds that bad faith is required, Gumbey still prevails because the court can find bad faith when the state violates an obligation to preserve the evidence until Gumbey could analyze this evidence. Okay, watch this. Conclusion. For the foregoing reason, Christopher B. Gumby respectfully request the court to dismiss counts 4 through 6 because the state failed to preserve evidence that was known to possess exculpatory value, respectively submitted. Right? I hereby certify that I have this day served the true and correct copy of the written and foregoing pleading upon Miss Simeon, Miss Simone, and Hilton, Assistant District Attorney, hand delivery of the same disposition, Exhibit A. Motion to preserve inculpatory evidence. The defendant by the undersigned counsel and hereby filed motion. Let me see. Defendant is in custody of warrants. The defendant is critical, just passing time going through this stuff. By way of the motion, the defendant have put the prosecution and prosecution team notice exculpatory. Same thing I just read. Read that already. Wherefore, defendant respectfully requests a hearing on this motion and act that this honorable court order the prosecution to permit defendant to test this. Oh, so this is the paperwork. This is the paperwork he submitted. This is the evidence of them submitting the paperwork asking could the truck be examined by his attorneys and stuff to show that they may have been guilty of the nature of what they arguing, right? So that was the evidence of that paperwork. Exhibit B, it's another it's other evidence of it. The latter statement the gun be owed for the recovery of the storage of this vehicle. Okay, so this person said, I'm in possession of a letter from your office dated in 2017, addressed by my client, Mr. Christopher Gumby, whereby you inform Mr. Gumby that his vehicle, 2003 Ford Expedition, was declared abandoned as of July 19th, 2017. The vehicle is not abandoned, rather pursuant to your office. This vehicle still has a law enforcement hold. Therefore, this vehicle cannot be released. The letter stating that Mr. Gumby owes for the recovery of the storage of this vehicle in a declaration of that this vehicle is abandoned is inaccurate, as Mr. Gumby nor his agent is able to retrieve this vehicle from your facility until the law enforcement hold is released. Finally, this vehicle is of critical value. Mr. Gumby's legal defense. Okay. So that's the paperwork thing. Okay. So he put in this motion to get the cases dropped as a result of whoever impounded the place. So apparently somebody where the truck was being held, it was presumed to be abandoned because no owner came, but the truck was supposed to be in law enforcement custody, but because it was impounded and held by some private company, probably they ended up maybe cleaning the truck or something, however they did it. So he trying to use that as a way to get out of the case. But they actually denied this motion. They denied this motion right here for that. So they denied that motion. So he's just looking for ways to get out of things. Let's go here. Let me see what this is. Okay. Now, this is the other motion thing. So check out this motion, right? So Okay. So this motion right here, I believe this motion was when he was trying to get this motion dropped as a result of he didn't want, I think it was because the phones. Let me see. Defendant argued they count 1 and 5. 1 and 5. What's 1 and 5? Rape and aggravated assault. Okay. Rape 1 and 5 of the indictments are defective. Former charge. Why though? What is he arguing? Christopher Gumby with the offense of kidnapping and violation. Said accused. So this for the kidnapping. It's 5 kidnapping? Let me make sure. Okay, they probably got it in different order on there. Aggravated assault. Yes, let me see. The grand jurors. Okay. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So if you notice, they denied this motion right here. For these reasons, it is hereby ordered that the defendant's motion to squash count 2, 3, 5, and 6 special demurrers is denied. So this four of the 6 counts that they denied him on. Y'all see that? They denied him on that. And so right here, they reject him on here. So they denied his motions for count 2, 3, 5, and 6. 4 of the 6 charges. They denied his motion. So he tried to get the count dropped right there, and they denied him right there. That's what I'm saying. Every time he tried to put in a motion for these cases, they not dropping nothing. They not dropping nothing at all. And he trying to find technicalities where he can get off on. If y'all notice, he not arguing he didn't rape these women. This is not the arguments. The arguments is due process. Was the due process legal? You get what I'm saying? He not arguing about the innocence of him with these women. He looking for a loophole. Like he tried to get the GPI hit. I need to find that one too. He tried to get the GPI one throw out. When they put the GPI on him, the GPS, the GPS on him to find out where he was. He trying to get that removed. But you would figure if you innocent of not raping these women, you want the GPS to be recorded because it could place you not around them at the time of their rapes. But he actually put in a motion to have the GPS where he was found and them reading the GPS to lock him in where the girls was. He trying to get that throughout. He trying to get that throughout because he know. If you innocent, why would you want to get the GPS throughout? The GPS gonna show you innocent. The GPS at the time of these rapes gonna show he wasn't there. But instead, they show he was there. So he trying to get rid of the GPS. That's what's crazy. That's what's crazy that he leaving out. So, as y'all can see on this stuff, man, like ain't nothing changed, man. This dude done for, man. Simple as that. Yeah, so it ain't no way to get around this. I'm trying to find that other motion. Where he actually tried to get the GPSs removed. The GPS systems and stuff removed. Let me see what this one is. Got that one. Let me see. What's this one? Oh, here you go, right here. Here you go, right here. Look at this one right here. This is the one I wanted to find. Watch this one. Look at this motion he put in for this. This right here, crazy one right here. Let me show you. This one. Yeah, right here. This one right here. Look at this one. This the GPS one. Look at how he wanted this one removed. Remember, this the one that he got found out, right? So in this GPS one right here, this the one he really tried to get removed right here. This GPS one, right? Look at this. This one says, guns be moved to suppress. Hold on, this lamp is bothering my eye, man. Hold on a second. Man, watch this one right here, y'all. See, this the one he really tried to move to get taken out, because this one right here really shows just how guilty this dude was. This one right here. Because remember, when he raped the girl and robbed her of her property, you know your phone have all your contacts in it and everything. So all the girl contacts, all the numbers and everything, that stuff was gone, right? Watch this. So watch this though. This one right here was the killer, right? Now keep in mind, if you innocent, you don't want this removed. You need this to show you innocent. But it was this one right here that actually buried him, right? Because remember, when he robbed Kiera, when he raped and robbed Kiera, he took all her property, right? He took all her property. And all you know, have y'all ever lost the phone and you didn't save all your contacts or store? All that stuff is gone. All your private, your phone is like a damn wallet. As a matter of fact, it's better than a wallet. All your private stuff be in your phone. Man, I'm gonna keep it 100. I don't even know a phone number apart from my own and my phone. I just know names. I go to the name, click it, and it call. I don't know nobody's phone number by heart, but my own, right? and that's only because I had this number for 10 years. So I know this by heart. But in my contact, I couldn't give you nobody's number by heart. Nobody number by heart. So when he took this girl property, she didn't have nothing. No contacts or nothing. Remember, they had to go to her friend. They had to go to her friend's house who gave her the number. Because remember, she didn't know Unbias. She called her friend for a ride. Her friend wasn't able to get her a ride. And her friend was like, here's an Uber service you can call. And this dude give rides. And getting these rides, that's when he raped her. You know what I'm saying? So she didn't even know who he was. He was referred to her by a friend. She was referred to him by a friend. She was referred to him by a friend to get a ride because the friend wasn't able to get her a ride. So when he robbed her, raped her, and took her stuff, what happened was she didn't have no contacts with nobody. So when the officer was interviewing her and examining her and stuff, she told the officer, I got the number from my friend. They went to the friend's house, the detective and her, they went to the friend's house. The friend gave them his number out of their phone. You finna see this. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna even say nothing. Watch the breakdown right here. Watch the breakdown right here. So pay attention to this. This is his motion he put in. Right? Now, if you innocent, you want this motion. You don't want this throughout. But let's see what it says. Guns be moved to suppress the warrantless search of his GPS. In other words, his whereabouts and cell site location data, as well as all evidence seized from the June 19, 2017. Remember, they hit his house, found all their property in there. So, in other words, this is argument. Since they got an illegal warrant or illegal GPS warrant on me that led to them raiding my house and finding evidence against me, I not only want that throughout, but I want all the evidence that was taken that's being used against me throughout also. This is his argument, right? So he wants the GPS suppressed along with the cell site location and the evidence seized from his June 19, 2017 search of his home. Look at that. He wants the evidence seized against him. So watch this. To support his position, watch this, y'all. Let's read this. Let's get this clown. What he talking about? He got me messed up, brother. Watch this. Watch what they argue. Man, hold on, y'all. I need something to drink. Y'all can read this till I come back. Let me get something to drink. My mouth is so dry. Okay. Man, boy, y'all be working me, man. Boy, y'all be working me. Man, I ain't never had to work this hard, boy. Man. This internet done destroyed my relationship. I broke up with my wife because of y'all. This internet is terrible. Okay, hold on. Okay. Man, all right. We good. So, right there. So, he put in a motion to suppress his GPS and cell site locations and evidence seized against him when his house was raided. To support his position that the search warrant for the home was invalid and that the search and seizure as executed violated both the Fourth Amendment and Georgia Constitution, right? Gunsby shows as follows. Now look at this. I told y'all, He's not arguing that he didn't rape these women. He's looking for what's the word I'm looking for? He's looking for what he looking for? He looking for, I just said it earlier, man. Y'all got me everywhere. Dang. What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, he looking for a loophole. Thank you, Tyrone. He looking for a loophole. He ain't arguing that he guilty. He looking for a loophole, like, well, they violated my rights, so they can't use none of that against me. Oh, they didn't read me my rights, so therefore they need to drop these rape cases. Oh, they didn't get a proper warrant, so everything they hit my house and they got to get that back. Watch this. So the Fourth Amendment prescribes all unreasonable search and seizures and searching conducted without prior judicial approval are per se unreasonable under the Fourth Amendment, subject to specifically established and well delineated exceptions, right? Now, if you notice what it said, that all unreasonable searches and seizures and searches conducted without prior, see, that's what he's trying to do, prior. Because what you're going to find out is when they went to the, okay, hold on. Just for time's sake, we're going to cut through this and just get to the story. So that's what he's arguing on the Fourth Amendment and all that stuff. Like, did they get prior legal permission before pursuing and going further? Watch this though. Watch the story. Here go the story. On June 17, 2017, Detective K. Evans of the DeKalb County Special Victims Unit responded to a DeKalb Medical Center at Hallandale to a rape call. Upon arrival, Detective Evans interviewed the alleged victim, Kiera Monique Simeon. Simeon told Detective Evans that she was raped by an unknown cash taxi driver, right? Remember, he had that fake Uber service. She didn't even know his name. She didn't know nothing about him. It said inside the vehicle before he drove away. When the unidentified suspect drove away, Simeon's cell phone was inside the vehicle. Simeon advised that the cell phone number she called to request the cash taxi was this number. This was his burnout rape phone number right here. He was using a burnout phone for a fake taxi cab driver, and it was being used to rape these women. It was a burner phone. But it was registered with the T-Mobile. Remember, the constitutional right thing they trying to argue prior, right? Wireless carrier. On June 18, 2017, at 3:00 p.m., Detective Evans served an exigent circumstance request form upon T-Mobile, which requested immediate production of information related to this phone number. Number one, current subscriber information they wanted, a call detail records within the past 48 hours. Why? Because remember, Kiera was raped on the 17th. Karen was raped on the 18th, back to back. So the officers were requesting the call records in those two back-to-back days, the 48 hours, right? Within the past 48 hours, in real time, GPS location. That means where he at right now. Every 15 minutes up to 48 hours, like everywhere he was moving. So the GPS they were requesting was to show a record of him being in contact with these victims. And every time he moved, every 15 minutes, up to that 48 hours. Right? Then it say the form also described the existing emergency. That the person with this number, unbiased, is a suspect in 2 serial rapes. 2 serial rapists. See, he's a serial rapist. This past Friday and Saturday, back to back. The analyst predicts, like they was analyzing his steps of what he doing. They said, hold on, he raped y'all twice back to back. They was on their CSI stuff. And that means he liable to rape again on Sunday and Monday. It say the analyst predict that he will rape again tonight. See that? They're like, hold on, he raped you Friday. He raped her Saturday. He's gonna rape again. So it say suspects using Craigslist to lure victims. So this suspect was using Craigslist to lure victims. The numbers called from the target revealed that the victims were in communications with the suspect hours prior to the assault. Emphasis added. So, watch this. The T-Mobile response of law officers okay, so the T-Mobile response of the law enforcement's exigency requests revealed GPS location data showing that the cell phone linked to telephone number such and such was located inside the resident at based upon. Okay, so based upon the T-Mobile GPS data, detective evidence applied for the received Rockdale County search warrant, which authorized the search of whatever place. In the affidavit supporting Rockdale County search warrant, the sole link between the place to be searched, that's the address, and the item to be seized, suspect cell phone and victim cell phone, is the GPS location data. So on June 21st, 2017, DCAS investigators of the Rockdale County Police executed a search warrant. Through the search, the law enforcement determined that the phone number belonged to Christopher Bernard Gumpy. Gumpy was arrested, saying his cell phone was located inside Gumpy's home during the search. Law enforcement did not, watch this, law enforcement did not have a search warrant to obtain the cell phone records. Let me read that again. Law enforcement did not have a search warrant to obtain the cell phone records. Cell site information or GPS data for this phone number. No consent was given. A warrantless search for constitutionally protected information resulted. So you see what they arguing? They arguing when they went to the T-Mobile place and ran his phone number through, they were supposed to got a warrant before they did that. They were supposed to got a warrant before they did that because they needed a warrant to trace that number, to get the GPS and everything. So because they didn't get a warrant first to trace that number, that actually found out where he was, that ended up. So what they did, they took the number, they went to T-Mobile, they told T-Mobile, we need to know where this person was in the last 48 hours on this phone number, who this number belonged to, you know. So his lawyer answering all that was illegal. And I can see why the judge threw that out. Because if you got a guy raping these women back to back, you raped them Friday, then you raped them Saturday night. Then they like, we need to get on top of this now. Because this dude finna rape somebody again. He on a spree. We ain't got no time to be trying to go get a warrant to prove this stuff with this dude on the prowl. So the detectives, like, look, we need to know where this person at right now. We need to know who name attached to this. We need to know a GPS hit on him right now on this number. When they got all that, then they took that and got the warrant. Like, look, we know where this guy at right now. He probably raped 2 women, such and such. Then they signed off on the warrant. So this is his argument. He trying to get all that suppressed. Now think about that, y'all. If you were innocent and didn't do this to these women, you want those GPSs to prove you innocent. You want that. But look what he arguing. He arguing they would have never got me if they would have never went to T-Mobile without that warrant to find out where I was. And when they found out where I was, they raided my house and found that evidence against me. Which means this all should be thrown out because they didn't get a warrant to even put a trace on my house on my phone. So because they didn't do that, this should be thrown out. That's what he arguing. Loopholes, technicalities. That's all he arguing. That's all he arguing. Notice that. They all technicalities. Loopholes and technicalities. So he basically admitting he did rape these girls. But if I could get some loopholes and get up out of this, I could beat it. Look at that. This is what he arguing. Okay. Law enforcement use of technological means, right? GPS data to reveal intimate details from within Gunsby home, presence and locations of the cell phone constitutes a warrantless search of the home. We think that obtaining by sense-enhancing technology and information regarding the interior of the home that could not otherwise have been obtained without physical intrusion into a constitutionally protected area constitutes a search, at least where, as here, the technology in question is not in general public use. A warrantless search occurred in a third way. The warrantless acquisition of the GPS data constituted a government trespass of Gunsby property, right to control and exclude a third party's Bally's use of his personal data. It seemed to me entirely possible a person's cell site data could qualify as his papers or effects under existing law. The warrantless search of Gunsby GPS, CSL data and home were unreasonable because of exigent circumstances existed. No exigency existed because when the request was submitted, Detective Evans knew that the June 18, 2017 attempted assault on Karen Hill did not involve Craigslist, a taxi, or the telephone number. Therefore, when Detective Evans described the exigency, the person with this phone number is a suspect in 2 serial rapes. Suspects using Craigslist to lure victim, and the numbers called from the targets revealed that the victims were in communications with suspects hours prior to the assault. She knew that these statements were either false or misleading. Hold on. I just noticed something. So according to this paperwork, he had some type of thing going on Craigslist where, oh, I know what he was doing. He was playing as an escort for prostitutes. That's what he was doing. Oh, I get what he was doing now. That's why he was linked to them on Craigslist, luring victims from Craigslist. He was applying his services to call girls on Craigslist to get to and fro from they Johns or whatever they was doing. He was being a personal escort. That's why he was linked to them on Craigslist. That make a lot of sense. That make a lot of sense. That's why when Kiara called for her friend to get her a ride, she said, this guy right here do it. Right. I see what he was doing. That makes a lot of sense now. Holding the exigency. Question requires an objective analyst. In that a mind run investigation or a police created exigency does not justify a warrantless search, because the warrantless searches of Gunsby GPS data, CSL data, and home were unreasonable. The data showing the location and movement of the cell phone must be suppressed. Look at that. The data showing the location and movement of the cell phone must be suppressed. Look what he arguing. Look what he arguing, y'all. The data, right? The data showing the location and movement of the cell phone must be suppressed. Do that sound like somebody who's innocent? Do that sound like somebody innocent? He don't even want the whereabouts of where the cell phone was. Whereabouts was to prove he innocent. Because he know it proves him guilty. So he don't want the GPS or the CSL, the cell phone location, wherever that cell phone was at, he wanted stricken from the records. Every location it was at, he wanted stricken from the records. Why? Because it showed him with these victims. It showed him with these victims. It put him dead at the scene at the time of the rapes. So he's putting a motion to suppress. They contact with him and his burnout phones in the locations he was at with them where that phone was. Ain't that something, y'all? Do that sound like an innocent man? Do that sound like an innocent man? A man who's saying he innocent. If you innocent, you want this GPS to show where you at. You want this GPS to reveal the contacts. If you innocent, but if you're not innocent, of course you moving to suppress this. With the cell phone GPS and CSL data suppressed, the affidavit supporting Rockdale County search warrant fails to establish probable cause. See, there you go. So if I remove the GPS, if I remove the location, then we can now remove the warrant that got the house raided, that the other property was found in. See how they trying to work? They trying to get them to drop. If you drop one of these, then you got to drop them all. So if you drop the GPS, if you suppress the GPS, then now you got to drop the CSL, because it was from the GPS, you got the CSL. But if you drop the GPS CSL, now you got to drop where my house was, because The GPS and CSL revealed where my house was and where I was located at. Then if you do that, now you got to drop the search warrant because you got the warrant, came raid in my house. Now I'm charged with this. So now you got to drop the robbery. Now you got to drop, see what I'm saying? They think they slick. Neither the evidence seized nor Gunsby arrest was inevitably discoverable because police obtained Gunsby identity through the unlawful search. See that? Police obtained Gunsby identity through the unlawful search. When they took his number, went to T-Mobile to find out who he was. There was no lawful independent source to link the suspect's telephone number with 3875. So in other words, that phone number is not even linked to that address. But because that phone number was being used as a GPS, it linked him to that address. So in other words, they saying this phone number, basically they trying to get the law to actually they trying to get the law to actually what's the word I'm looking for? They trying to get the law to actually they're trying to get the law to basically being coerced with them, really, basically. Look at what he really saying like here. It's really trying to get the law to be in collaboration with them. Look what it said. It say, neither the evidence seized nor Gumby's arrest was inevitably discoverable because A, police obtained Gumby identity through the unlawful search, and B, there was no lawful independent search source to link the suspect's phone number with 3875 evidence. And Detective Evans did not have a good faith basis to rely on. He didn't have a good faith basis to rely on. The Rockdale County search warrant. Alternatively, the detectives' good faith reliance on search warrant is an opposite suppression mandate because Georgia does not recognize a good faith exception to the exclusionary rule. See that? Exclusionary rule. For the foregoing reason, Christopher B. Gunsby respectably requests this honorable court to hold the, look at this. Look at this. Look at this hearing he wants. An evidentiary hearing. It's about the evidence, right? Look at this hearing he wanted. On this motion for the evidence, to suppress the evidence. And after hearing evidence and argument suppressed from evidence at trial, any and all items seized, look, any and all items seized during the unlawful search. See, he want all the evidence against him ruled and thrown out. Ain't that something? That was the motion to get the GPS records throughout in the location of where he was. And all the evidence they raided his house and found linking him to the rapes. He wanted all that throughout. See that? This man is guilty. He wanted all that throughout. See what I'm saying? He wanted all the evidence against him throughout. Ain't that something, y'all? Can't get around that. Can't get around that. See? He looking for, he admitting he guilty. He admitting he guilty of what he did. He's just trying to argue due process. That's what he arguing, due process. Like, man, they wouldn't have never found me, man, if they didn't trace my phone. They would have never had this info. They would have never had all this evidence against me if they wouldn't have traced my phone and raided my house. That's why the judge and them threw the emotions out. They like the detectives worked it right. You raped the girl on Friday, the girl on Saturday. Of course, they did what they supposed to have done. When they found out where you was, then they went and go get the warrant. Like they should have did. They called detectives. Detectives. You on the spree just raping women. Like every day is a different woman. Every day is a different woman. Of course we finna get you. Yeah, so come on, young. He out of there. He out of there. Yeah, man. So it's clear. Matter of fact, hold on. Some of y'all want to talk about this. Y'all can come up and talk about this. Here's a link right here if you want to come up and talk about it. Y'all got something to say about it. Mm-hmm. Man. Boy. Anybody want to come up and talk about this? They can come up and talk about it. Yeah, so let me see. Yeah, so there we go right there, man. You know what I'm saying? Woo, my eyes are burning me. Been in front of this thing too long. Too long. Y'all working me, boy. Man, y'all working me. Too much. Yeah, he going to jail. Don't even worry about it. He definitely going to jail. He took that plea and he got his sentencing date. Yeah, man. Crazy. Well, there you have it right there, man. Ooh, my eyes are burning me.